Lucky Lefty podcast. The Onora boys are in the building. My man, the original Lucky Lefty himself, the teacher, KRS1. I am that dude, the jokester, Biz Marquee. We are brought to you by Adora Whiskey, AdoraWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey at NoraWhiskey.com. And if you're going to drink, by all means, make sure you do so
responsibly.
You got to do it responsibly. Also, we're on CFB Nation, and that's brought to you by Twisted Tea. Now, audio edibles each and every day, right here at CFB Nation, home of the misguided passion. You know we're going to spend it different. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast, brought to you by Twisted Tea on CFB Nation. Left, today we're going to hear from Brady Quinn. We're going to hear from Joe Klatt, and we're going to hear from Marcus Freeman. I got a bunch of hats behind me on my bookshelf.
Okay.
A bunch of caps. We might be throwing some caps out today. Because Joe Klatt is out here capping. And unfortunately, one of the best quarterbacks in the history of Notre Dame. I'm going to play a clip from his Fox radio show yesterday.
Okay.
I know you're going to call cap. Because you don't know Notre Dame fandom is running rampant. You know, we're feeling good. We feel like we're in a new era, especially offensively. Confident quarterback play. Running back room. Heck, we argued for 15 minutes yesterday on the running back room. Who was going to sit where? Who was going to be number 2 behind Aldrich? And
good problems to have.
Great problems to have. But I digress. Because we want to get into, before we start, a special story that you have. You'll be covering the Western Kentucky game.
Mm-hmm.
And Western Kentucky has a pretty interesting story in how they ended up keeping their quarterback.
Yeah, it seems that the people of the school came together. The founder of the NIL collective, this guy named Hank Wilson, knew prior to Austin Reed even thinking about the transfer portal that he's going to have some competition out there, but they want him to stay. Was able to put together a collective just in time for Austin Reed to make a decision. And they ended up garnering the attention to come back to Western Kentucky, but it just shows how the people and alumni of the school, they want their quarterback, they're going to pay for him. They done gave the man a Corvette. They done dropped a nice little bag on him, you know. Austin Reed comes back, a guy that could have went Power 5. He was an FBS leader in passing yards and touchdowns last year. So, man, if we can do that, that's at Western Kentucky. And that's a school that they're competing for championship, and they're doing that to keep their quarterback. Man, the things that we can do at NIL at Notre Dame.
So do you think NIL at Notre Dame, the alumni would be more comfortable along the lines of players that have actually performed rather than high schoolers?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a more of a mature business deal. And, you know, you got to pay for what we can see and what you've done lately. So I do think it would be more on the inside. Like, think about a guy like Kyle Hamilton. He take his helmet off Florida State game it's the first game of, you know, the year you're supposed to go to the draft. That might be a little NIL bag out. You know, that's the reason to, you know, throw some money. That's Kyle Hamilton. Jeremiah Wusu, you know, and Jalen Smith, you know, guys that bona fide coming in doing the thing. But I also think guys that can make an impact as a freshman, and Jaden Grayhouse would be a great opportunity to foresee an NIL thing with. So it's got to be a communication piece from the coaching staff and letting the fan base know, all right, this might be a guy that might make the, you know, impact on scene. We get a guy like Zachariah Branch. You know, I'm paying him first day.
Yeah. We're meeting him in the locker room after the first game, like, yo.
Sign this real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to meet with you in the office.
Yeah, we got a wire transfer, hefty one,
Facts.
hefty, hefty. So yeah, obvious, there's obvious, in my opinion, obvious players that all right, we might have to go ahead and do the damn thing. So
Zachariah Branch has a standing reservation at Noble. You know what I mean? Standing. Like
they making the
standing
case.
reservation. Oh
Making
yeah.
the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, clear that one. Hey, get my you right on time. You right on time, Mr. Branch.
Yeah.
We open for you. So, maybe Frankie's got a little deal like that. Late night Frankie's. I might need
Right.
some ribs at a 9, 10 o'clock. We getting out of practice. I might need to call it on the hotline.
Man.
So it NIL has shown itself to be very creative. Sam has seemed to find his own NIL deals as maybe he has an agent or something, but he done got on the beats commercials with with all the top quarterbacks, and he then got his Dove soaps and shampoos and conditioners going. The brother definitely is accumulated a good amount of NIL. Now I don't know how much of Notre Dame has played into that. That's what I'm saying. Are they garnering these relationships between Dove or the Beats, or what is the relationship that Notre Dame can at least put their name on if we're getting a guy on our team getting obvious sponsorships? How's Notre Dame going to use that in recruitment? Are we cool with Dr. Dre? Is he going to pop up at school and hand Sam like some diamond beats or something crazy if we win the champion? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think those are the ways we gotta Pete Pravakwa has to find a way with him and Marcus Freeman to bring some of that collective idea. Because I mean, we do a Irish Day every year for 24 hours and fundraise $200 million or something crazy, easy. So NIL collective, come on, just a couple chips, it's nothing too crazy. You don't spend
Yo.
putting your name on the building. That and what's that? That's more vain than dropping a couple dollars off on you, Jason Anye. Jason Anye got to you know
Oh man. Lucky Lefty podcast. Hey, Marcus Freeman. I want to give credit to whom credit is due, right? Because when you critique coaches, players, it's only fair that when they do good, you give them credit.
That's right.
Maris Leofow was recognized as the defensive player of the week. Somebody you pointed out in the post-game show. Much maligned. I want to bring this up because I said this. Maris Leofow deserved every bit of criticism last year.
Yes.
But I pointed out several times that last year, honestly, was about getting Maris Leofow to play a full year healthy, coming off his previous injuries. Maris Leofow wasn't going to be at his best last year. That was known. Now, that might sound like, well, heck, he needs to sit down and understand. The way they brought him through fall camp slowly, they didn't give him a lot of reps. They wanted him to play a healthy season. And now he's healthier than he's ever been with full confidence, shall I say. Now the expectation is, yo, go out there and ball. He was all over the field, but he was all over the field knowing where he was supposed to go.
That's
Here's
right.
Marcus. So kudos to him. And here's Marcus Freeman talking about Maris Leofow and everything he did and the defense getting turnovers.
played with a physicality that I have not seen for a while. Now, Maris is a physical linebacker. I mean, he's a really good player, but I went back and watched that film. I mean, Maris was playing so physical, and constantly did it. Like, listen, I played linebacker, and there's certain plays or certain formations you can see and say, okay, we're going head to head. We got to go. And it's not natural to really like enjoy that over and over and over and over and over, but you have to do it. And that's what I saw. There were certain formations. Maris knew 3 backs in the back. Okay, here, there's coming a lead on me. It's me versus this dude. And the very first play of the game, if you go back and watch it, Maris, the dude got him a little bit, the Navy fullback. And they got the same formation 4 or 5 times, and Maris, every play went and took him on. And that's what you love to see, man, a guy that's willing to sacrifice his body, but also do your job. Like, you can't just be a physical player and not do your job, right? And Maris did them both. And so he had a forced fumble. You can see, as you go back, I told Coach Goins last night, like, you can see defensive guys truly being aware of the football, trying to get it out. We had 0 turnovers, but that is not because there wasn't awareness and a lack of really effort to do it. And so credit to them. Though the turnovers, takeaways will come as long as we are constantly being aware of where that ball is.
Yeah, it's definitely it goes along the lines when we talk about tackling and having the mindset of you have to want to tackle somebody. The first game is always, you got a lot of excitement. You're in Ireland. You're playing a team you're supposed to smash. It's like the Washington Generals, Harlem Globetrotter feel. You coming back last year, want to be better than the year before. You done heard the naysayers. There's a lot of adrenaline going, especially when you know you don't have anything responsible behind you because they don't pass. So as a guy that's got a lot to prove and he knows what's on his back with these young guns coming up, I mean, yeah, he's gonna want to play that day.
Yeah.
He's gonna want to play.
Yeah.
Now, when we play in Ohio State, I need to have the same want to play attitude, but let's not go in there and miss tackles now. Like, you want to get in there, but don't go in there and start blowing tackles. We want you to go in there the same effort and attitude with that mentality. I want to be here. I gotta make the play. But I also have to be aware, they may try to throw something behind me. So I gotta play both sides now. It's easy when it's a one-way tunnel vision. I just gotta be tougher than a dude because it gives you the high school feels. When you're the best player on the field in high school, they're not tricking you with nothing for real. So you can just go in there and just run around guys and now, when we're playing better teams, all right, you better look around and count your numbers and follow the keys and all this and that. That's why I'm saying that this game is very good for a confidence standpoint because you know what you're getting. But moving forward, is traditional offenses. You got to be same effort and enthusiasm. Same willingness to go in there, stick your head in there, whatever. But that second part of the game, which has been the problem. It was never an issue for Maris to go in there and make a tackle or be physical. That was never his issue. His issue was when teams was like, let's see if Maris can chase somebody on the outside, cover somebody in the slot, make this misdirection play in open space on a sweep or have an elusive quarterback or something. So that was the issue. So, but it is good to see him doing what he is good at. JD did what he was good at, be around the football, get guys lined up, make some plays when he had to, be a consistent tackler. So it's good to see guys do what they're supposed to. Now let's see if they can do what they're supposed to against teams that are equal to, if not better talent. Because that's what the landscape that we got to deal with.
Something else we talked about with creating turnovers. I literally saw, I don't know if I want this, but I saw the fullback from Navy dragging Jack Kaiser because Jack Kaiser is busy trying to strip the ball. 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And at some point, I'm like, okay,
Get him down.
get him down. Like you tried to strip him, you didn't get it. Let's get him on the ground.
Because he's 8
'Cause
yards downfield.
he's dragging you down the field. And at what point does it become a hindrance to think turnover rather than just playing and doing the right things and just being at the right places and creating the turnovers? Right? I'll give you a perfect example. We had DJ Brown with a whiff.
Yeah.
That was an opportunity to create a turnover.
Oh yeah, because he was back there for real. He timed it right,
but because you can't execute a sound tackle, the opportunity goes by the wayside.
That's right.
You know, so it's not always about grabbing somebody and trying to pull the ball. Do what you're supposed to do, and you'll be in position the majority of the time to put on a good hit and create a turnover.
Yeah, and I think you think about a guy like Manti. Manti was really good because he knew any and everything detailed about the opposing offense. And what made him so good is that because of that and his knowledge of where things were, he was able to be there what would seem like he's super athletic or, he just was super smart.
To get a tip pass
and he just be in the way of be causing the corruption because he was mentally locked into the game where he knew what was going on. So that's advantage that you can take as a guy that can execute mixed with knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's where the turnovers really start. And then you got your special outliers like your Ben Morrison. Because he's such a hound and he's around the ball and he's got good ball instinct because a lot of guys don't have that.
Yeah.
You catching the tip, poof, hit the receiver, poof, you right there, you can react. Some guys, most DB,
Harrison Smith was like that.
And that's why he's still in the league today.
The ball just found it at Notre Dame.
But Thias Farley still in the league today.
Yeah.
Was probably the most underrated guy for the league on the team because, we had a pretty good team. But, ain't nobody thinking that Matthias is be 8-9 year vet like he is today. But we always knew whenever he got on the field, just somehow he would just scoop up the fumble or guy throw it right to him or the receiver just right through his hands to Matthias. So, when you have a player that has a knack like that, it really takes care of itself. But other than that, the 10 other guys, you need to be doing your job. Especially when they throw like little bubbles and RPOs and your reads and what you're looking at, you get in the way of it or break it up. Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl, right? Knowing your job. That's how you make the plays. You're there early.
Lucky Lefty podcast, man. And then, we had an epic conversation yesterday about the running backs. And I don't know why. Because we said this during the post-game show. And I don't really attribute this to culture. I don't. This is just football 101. It goes back to my high school days, bro. I never forget the way I got on the court as a freshman is because we had a senior point guard that wanted to go rogue. He just wanted to go rogue. That dude was
that's frustrating.
We ran the flex offense, and he would just break the offense, right? So eventually, the coach said, "Davis, yo, get in." And I'll never forget. Once I got in the game, I'm like, "Yo, I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out." And the way I was gonna come out was like, hey, I'm running this offense. I'm about to be the most bland, boring point guard that runs this offense and make sure the coach gets exactly what he wants.
I'm gonna just do my job. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there was a lot of hubbub around what Marcus Freeman said Sunday post game when asked about this, what he said yesterday. And we saw this last year. Like Aldrich Estime fumbled against North Carolina. He fumbled the game away against Stanford. And the very next week, Logan Diggs had 27 carries. He was a workhorse. We already know Dylan McCullough doesn't play. So it wasn't a big deal. Hey, not a big deal. We said it on the post-game show. Okay, Aldrich, you can keep messing around fumbling with the running backs you got behind you. Keep playing around and watch what happens.
I don't know.
That's football 101 for any coach.
Yeah.
The best teacher is this sideline and this bench. If you want to keep doing the same thing, okay, this is how I'm gonna get through to you. Come take a seat. But Marcus Freeman, once again, he was asked about it yesterday, and this is what he had to say.
That are all talented. I told Coach McCullough that he's done a great job at keeping those guys unselfish, at putting them in situations that they have packages based off who they are and some of their strengths. And so I was really impressed by the depth and the execution of that room. To address Aldrich, he was taken out of the game. I talked with Coach McCullough about it because there's a standard that he and our offense and our team is set for that room, and you can't put the ball on the ground. And we don't care if you're Sam Hartman or Aldrich Estime. Like, if you're not doing the things that we say are the standards for this program in this room, then there's consequences. And so part of that was, hey, Aldrich, you're going to be pulled for a little bit because you can't put the ball on the ground. And then to me, it's also a credit to Aldrich Estime, who is the guy. He's the guy. We all know that he's the guy to be able to say, okay, I'm going to stand here on the sideline for a couple series or whatever, however long it was. When you give me my opportunity, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to go do my job. Like, it's just, to me, a credit to Dylan McCullough for the trust that his players have in him, and a credit to Aldrich Estime that we all know is the guy, RB1, to be able to accept that, you know what, you're going to be held accountable because you did not perform to our standard. You put the ball on the ground. And I thought it was a great example to not just those two, but to everybody in that room, even our entire team. Nobody's bigger than the standard. Nobody's above the standard. And if you don't perform to the standard, there's consequences. We understand that. We know Aldrich Estime didn't mean to put the ball on the ground, but the ball's on the ground. So we got to hold him accountable to that standard. And so it's actually a really proud moment to be able to see that. Like, there's no pouting. There's no guy throwing his helmet mad because he's taking a note. Like, hold me accountable, coach. That's your job. And when I get the opportunity to go back in, I will. And he did, and he did a great job.
Let me call Cap a little bit.
Come on, yeah. Let me get it.
No, go ahead. I know where you about to go.
It's
a major cap in there.
Yeah, it's a little embellishing there. It's a little embellishing. It's because it's mixed with some truth. Because you can talk big game when you got 5 guys that can play. Not only that can play, when you really got one guy that you like, you know what? If I was crazy, I'd start. I started for real. So yeah, give me any reason, any excuse, and then because I can embellish as a coach, like, yeah, you fumble around here because it's Notre Dame, there's gonna be some consequences. You can say that when you got guys that can turn over and do something crazy in the backfield. You can say that. But you a little hard on Aldrich now. Don't act like he just ain't no.
No. He wasn't hard on Aldrich. First of all, Aldrich knew As soon as
Audric
Mitchell
knows.
Evans recovered the ball, Audric got up and ran to the sideline. He
Because
knew.
Audric knows.
He knew. He knew.
He know what's coming. He know what's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because and then why I call the cap? Because at the end of the day, if Sam throw 3 picks in a game, you're not turning around putting in Angela.
And if Sam fumbles, you're not putting the second string quarterback in.
Oh no, at all.
So
you ain't even telling him to get his helmet. You said, put
that's
that
a
back.
big cap.
Put that back. Put
Yes.
that helmet back. What you doing? It's Sam Hartman show. We better get back.
Steve Angeli is not picking up his helmet if Sam Hartman gets strip sacked. It's not happening.
Okay. Not happening. Marcus Freeman, now you can do it when you got all the talent in the running back room. You can do it when you don't got an X factor receiver just yet. You can do that. Everybody is swimming in the same pool. So you can just drop him back in there and we get another one. And y'all in the same boat. But not Sam. So yeah, you can embellish a little bit. Talk this big game. Because at the end of the day, the rotation probably would have had Audric out in a couple plays anyway. I don't see a running back stealing a lot of possessions unless he just comes out hot. Hot.
Bro, I love, first of all, I love, this goes back to the credit we need to give Dylan McCullough when he arrived.
That's right.
And he arrived and he looked at the room and said, nah, this is not it.
That's right.
And he looked at the players being recruited and said, no, these are not the guys.
Not the guys.
He took a couple of bullets for what he did on the recruiting trail, but the talent he's brought in and the development you've seen, you're like, okay. And kudos to Marcus Freeman not taking the credit and saying, yes, I asked Coach McCullough what was up, and he said, yeah, I took him out. That was Coach McCullough's call, not Marcus Freeman's call. Marcus Freeman is being a head coach.
Right.
He's coaching the game.
Coach.
That's Dylan McCullough's call.
That's right.
And he said Dylan McCullough has gotten that room to be highly unselfish and understand and buy in. This is the way things are going to go.
That's
and
right.
Everybody has a different package and different runs that suit them and their styles. And when I met with Dylan McCullough when he first arrived, that's what he said. He wanted 45 different style of running backs. So kudos to Dylan McCullough, man. That is absolutely amazing. Amazing that he could get that type of unselfish play. But what Marcus Freeman said yesterday wasn't culture changing. Marcus Freeman said it. It's not even his call. It's a standard, but heck, that's a standard on every level of high school. I mean, every level of football. I don't think I've seen a quarterback pulled for a strip sack ever.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a time, I don't know if you remember Drew Henson from Michigan. He was there at the same time as Tom Brady. And they had this weird, every other series, if you make a mistake, here comes the other one in the game. That's the only time I can remember something really weird like that.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State just announced that they're doing 2 quarterbacks going into the game. I just think it's anytime you doing that stuff, I don't think it helps or benefits either player, because as a player on the field, you want to be able to play freely, and playing freely, there's mistakes that happen, and sometimes you can correct those mistakes as the game goes on. You're getting a feel for things. It's not a perfect science on which guy is going to be in there and execute 100% of the time. It's mostly who's the most consistent at it, or who's the least having the mistake of it. So, I do think that there's room for things like that. But at the same time, when you have two guys, you have no guy, especially in key positions like quarterback. But at running back, they're already getting devalued as it is from a what is it going to impact on the offense. For us, the running back is definitely important, and we just happen to have a lot of good ones that, with an offensive line as good as it is, hell, even Sam Hartman may get a couple yards on the season, just due to the time and this and that. So with having great running backs in the O-line, that's great. All those running backs are looking very viable. But at the end of the day, having that dog, it doesn't necessarily have to be your number one guy. It could be a 2-3-headed monster at the end of the day. But it can't be 5 guys. Like, that's just no rhythm. You really got to plan around that. And with us being able to throw the football, I'm only thinking you're using 3 guys. Because, other than that, you in my opinion, be doing too much. And it would take away from Sam's importance to what we need to be championship worthy. We can win 10 games with Sam just being, well, I wouldn't say 10. We can win 9 games with Sam being a hand the ball off Drew Pine role. We can win 9 games doing that because we can just cycle through all the running backs until they all dried up and then hit some play actions here and there, but that's not going to win you a championship. The last time that happened was Ezekiel Elliott against Bama. And
I'm glad you said that, because coming up, we're going to hear both from Brady Quinn and Joe Clapp. And I'm going to ask the LL question of the day on the other side. It's vitally important. So when we come back, we'll get into that and talk more about the search going on for that team, that Notre Dame team that's talented enough to finally get Notre Dame over the top. It gets you a national championship. Lucky Lefty podcast right here, CFB Nation, brought to you by Twisted Tea. We spin it different. We're back right here on CFB Nation, the Lucky Lefty podcast, brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, and on CFB Nation, courtesy of Twisted Tea. Left, Brady Quinn has a radio show out there on Fox Sports. He's been with us here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. I might have to bring Brady Quinn to the petty train today. I might. We might.
He on the verge.
Now, I got 2 clips. This first one is Brady Quinn talking about Notre Dame, Sam Hartman, and his thoughts on the performance against Navy.
Now has been building towards a national title contender. They've been in the playoffs a couple of times in recent years, but everyone's kind of questioned based on the performance whether or not they're able to compete with the big dogs. The difference has been quarterback, and they've got one now that's able to truly utilize the wide receivers on the outside. Like, I'm telling you, they've got the guys. Jaden Thomas, Deion Colsey are big-bodied targets, and they can do something with the football after it. Jaden Greathouse, Rico Flores, Chris Tyree, other guys who are mixing in too have speed, the ability to make people miss. Like, they've got a nice assortment of weapons at wide receiver that we really haven't had the ability to tap into with the quarterbacks that have been there. And so it opens things up in a big way because you've got this huge offensive line that wants to maul people with a 225-pound back that's got bad intentions. And by the way, it's a stable of backs. Jadarian Price showed out. First carry, got a touchdown run. And you could go on down the list. Jeremiah Love's got a ton of speed out of the backfield. He got some burn time too. So it's a dangerous combination. The only thing coming out of the game that you're really curious about is the defense. because Navy's such a unique attack. You're not going to see if they have a pass rush or the ability to cover down. And I don't know that they're going to see if they have the ability to do that until they play Ohio State, which is week 4 of college football. So that game, though, I think, was one that, look, they should have won. They should have covered. Navy's in a really bad spot right now as a program. But it certified all the things that you had hoped for out of Sam Hartman, and any questions you might have in regards to Jared Parker as an offensive play caller, coming into this one.
I agree. Notre Dame has been building, getting to the college football playoff. Brady Quinn said the difference has been at quarterback.
Oh.
Now, you have to be careful when you say that.
That's right.
Because we keep it a buck here on the Lucky Lefty podcast.
That's right.
You put Sam Hartman on that team that faced Trevor Lawrence and that Clemson squad, they're not beating Clemson.
No.
They're not. They're not. So
we might score some more points though, but we're not beating Clemson.
Yeah, you score some more points, and my point is quarterback wasn't the only thing.
Right.
He made it seem like, just plug Sam Hartman in, Notre Dame's automatically. Yeah.
You plug Sam Hartman in, Notre Dame automatically gets stability.
Yes.
Don't mean Notre Dame gets championship elite level play with a first round generational talent that can turn.
That could be 16 Clemson, 17 Clemson, 17 Bama, 18 Bama,
Georgia,
20 Bama. Right.
So Sam has an opportunity, though.
Yes.
Has an opportunity.
Yeah.
To win a big game, though, like a US.
Yeah.
He has the opportunity to, but it's not we got the heavyweight Holyfield versus Muhammad Ali, Thriller in Manila. We got the equalizer. He is not the equalizer. He's the stabilizer.
Yeah.
But not the equalizer. The equalizer comes out on Thursday. That's Denzel. We ain't even got Denzel.
Yes.
We got Ari Spears that sounds like Denzel, but he ain't Denzel. So we got the stabilizer, not the equalizer. But I am going to see that movie on Thursday.
September 1st? Yeah. I'm looking forward to this version. They're talking about doing a prequel Equalizer with his son.
Okay, because his son's a good actor too.
Absolutely. So if they get into that, Antoine Fuqua said he's all for it. I like it. But my point is, what I'm calling capo on is Brady Quinn is making it seem like, no, Notre Dame has never had a wide receiver core collectively like Alabama in 2018.
But nobody's that's like a historical thing.
That's my point, which gets me to the LL question of the day, right? Would you rather go get a quarterback, or would you rather just have a game manager that's savvy and have a roster full of just elite talent? If you're a Notre Dame fan.
Yeah, the talent is.
Would you rather have, let's say, Clemson with Deshaun Watson, or would you rather have Georgia the last 2 years if you're a Notre Dame fan? Because it's 2 or 3 ways to build a championship roster. Heck, I could say, while Brady Quinn is saying the quarterback has been the issue, I could sit here and say that the run defense hasn't been good enough. in that same period. So that's what I had to call cap on with what Brady Quinn was saying. I understand the quarterback changes a lot
It
for this
does.
program. A
It
lot.
makes you put money down. I didn't want to put money down before.
A lot. But man, like you said, yeah, and now you want to put down some money. But Notre Dame has not, in my opinion, been a quarterback away
No.
from winning a championship.
Because we got to talk. Well, we didn't have DBs that were championship DBs at that point. We didn't have a
Oh
D-line
man,
at that
talk
point.
about it.
Linebacker still wasn't tackling nobody in space. We got Colonel Sanders, Kevin Sanders, Josh Sanders. What was his name? Oklahoma State, who's not even starting at Ole Miss.
Yeah,
Ran about 700 yards on our defense. I mean, come on, you can't win a championship giving 120 yards to the backup running back. That's not a quarterback fixing thing, you know. So yeah, we was never a quarterback away, but a quarterback was top 3 on the wish list.
yes,
It was on the list for sure. Short list,
yes,
top 3 list,
yes.
but it was a list. It wasn't one thing. It was a list of things.
And see, this is where I totally disagree. Like, the quarterback gives you a better chance to do what? Be in the game?
Jack Cohn was a good example of a better quarterback, and we saw the struggles we had with that. And it's only, I mean,
Your
we talk-
defense, your front seven still can't consistently pressure the quarterback. They can't stop the run. They've been
Can't
giving
touch
up over 100 yards for 5 straight years. This
still can't throw
you
it
had to
deep.
play deep. All this stuff,
Offensive line wasn't doing that great in the beginning.
no.
Teams that are
And
quarterback away were teams, for example,
we have to be honest. Notre Dame has maybe had one difference-making wide receiver per team.
in the decade.
Maybe one.
Will
Who was the best? I mean, that's going back to when
7,
you
8
were there to the college football playoff era where Notre Dame got to 2. Who was the best wide receiver? Chase Claypool? Who are we talking about? Who
EQ,
was the 5-star difference-making
EQ.
wide receiver?
EQ,
EQ?
who
Okay.
didn't get the ball that much.
See, we're an honest podcast. This goes to what Marcus Freeman is trying to build with the overall depth and the early development of the roster. Notre Dame wasn't, it just won a quarterback away. Oh, there's a lot more to it in that Brian Kelly era, dude. A lot more to it. And we're starting to learn, or we learned more about that when Marcus Freeman took over. And we realized, we realized what was going on with the wide receiver room. We realized what was going on with the O-line room and what Harry Heastand was really working magic with. Because he was having a fight against Brian Kelly. It's crazy. Mike Elston, his development. Because Mike Elston wasn't pulling in 5 stars. But he was definitely putting guys on NFL rosters. You talked about it. Notre Dame fans were complaining about defensive backs for how many years left? During the Brian Kelly era. In coverage.
Yeah.
At linebacker, we would get a Manti. Then we would get a Jalen. But that was like what? Yeah. But we had our Joe Smiths. Tavon and Drew were a hell of a combination.
Yeah, that was undefeated seasons.
Absolutely.
So it's just interesting, you know.
But to say it would be, it's not. You're not being 100% honest when you just say Notre Dame has been a quarterback away. That's if you're looking at the teams that have won championships and their rosters. You're not being 100% honest. To just say Notre Dame's been a quarterback away from winning a championship.
Yeah.
You're just not being honest. Now, I'm going to leave this to you because he went on to say this, Left. You take this one.
Best as far as team speed, size, athleticism that Notre Dame has had since I can remember.
Wow.
I mean, as far as all those things, and it's a credit to Marcus Freeman, it's a credit to the boys there, the development, the weight room and all that, but recruiting specifically, the young dudes coming up, like they've got some studs. They really do.
And
you can take it from here, Left. You go take this one from there. Go ahead.
Hold on. Play it one more time, please. One more time.
You heard what he said?
As far as team speed, size, athleticism that Notre Dame has had, this is the best as far as team speed, size, athleticism that Notre Dame has had since I can remember.
Wow.
I mean, as far as all those things, and it's a credit to Marcus Freeman, it's a credit to the boys there, the development, the weight room and all that, but recruiting specifically, the young dudes coming up, like they've got some studs. They really do.
And
what is he talking about? Like, what is he talking about? Is
He's out over his skis, and I love Brady Quinn.
I didn't think he said that last part. He said, as I can remember. Well, when did you start watching Notre Dame football? Yesterday? You got a real revisionist history. And this is why it's great that we have this podcast, because we don't forget. We'll go back to the days before us with the Jerome Bettis and the Rockets and all of that. We'll give credit where credit is due. But this revisionist history, oh, man. We were fast at linebacker in 2016, in 2017, in 2018. We was fast at linebacker. We were slow at linebacker in 2012. But it was a different game then. 2013, we got faster when we got Jalen. 2015, we was fast at linebacker. That's when we was championship ready. We had speed at receiver in top of the country in 2015-14. We had speed. As a team, we was fast in 15. What do you mean? That's when we was championship ready, when we had the team speed that was ready. We didn't have the team speed in 18. Okay, you can say that. But right now, we have questionable team speed right now until we play these teams coming down the pipe. It hasn't been tested yet. So how do you know? We had 4-3 receivers that I didn't know until they got to the combine. All of them was fast. Kavari was fast. Bennett was fast. We got some, man, what is Brady Quinn talking about? Maybe faster than his era.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Cap.
Brady Quinn needs to familiarize himself with Notre Dame.
That's right.
(2014 through 2016) is the biggest mistake of Brian Kelly's coaching era.
Facts.
This team is nowhere near as talented as the team that Brian Kelly put together from 2014 to 2016.
They're not.
Brady Quinn knows that, and he needs to stop lying. Heck, just the quarterback room.
alone.
Greg Bryant was a freaking 5-star, like 4 from the depth chart.
Josh Adams, what
Josh Adams was a unknown recruit that scored on his first carry. Like, what are you talking about?
Running back. What are you talking about?
Will Chase Claypool was a freaking freshman that couldn't get on the field.
A freshman, not even know how to run for real. Like
Jalen was Tavon and Niles Morgan was backing up Jake with Drew Frank. What are we talking about?
Like we had a
what are we talking about?
Oh, Luke and Julian Love was mixing it in there. Like, what are we talking about? They was in there. Troy Pride was a baby. All them boys was babies. Like, man, what is it, man?
This dude is talking after one game against Navy. One game.
We play out the country one time.
This is the fastest and most talented team that you can remember? What?
What they call that in show business? That's just a filler. He just trying to say something in what he was saying. He don't mean that.
Come on, man. Y'all can sit up here, talk about perspective, all that. That's a bunch of hogwash. I listened to the entire interview. That ain't no soundbite. I listened to the entire interview. Brady Quinn needs to stop. Come on, man. I know we're extremely happy because we got Sam Hartman. It seems like it's a lot of things changing. But Notre Dame fans, y'all, hey. Brian Kelly failed you by not bringing the championship to Notre Dame from 2014 and 2016. He failed you. That was the greatest amount of talent at Notre Dame at one time.
We had
in recent history.
We had Sheldon. Jerry was on the team. Man,
you had the Wars on the team.
The Wars on the team.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
We had a squad.
Go look at the rosters.
We was too stacked. That was a truly stacked team. Just never reached its full potential.
It never reached its full potential. We've been down this road before. Notre Dame has had a loaded roster of speed and talent. Brady Quinn is absolutely on target about the recruiting and how it's changed and the team being faster. But come on, man. The fastest and most talented team that you can remember?
It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. But, you know, I think he's selling the dream of what we believe to be a refreshed, new generation version of a Notre Dame team that was a little stale in its approach the last back end couple years of Brian Kelly's tenure. This is the millennial, what they call what Matthew Stafford dealing with. He dealing with the millennials, can't relate.
Man.
Young guys in the locker room. Well, this is the new version of a Notre Dame football team coming in the new age of where college football are with these players. And I think that it's exciting because I do think they are a little bigger coming in. I mean, you look at Jay Nosberry and Drake Bowen, like, damn,
these are big boys.
Yeah,
these are big boys.
I'm telling you, when I saw Tyson Ford, I'm like, man, Tyson Ford is huge. And he just a baby. I mean, he look like he one of them NFL DNs already. And he freshman not even playing yet. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, there's a little size that coming in, but we had the whole package. I mean, we had the
Yes.
personality, the intensity, we had the confidence, we had the chemistry. Guys were they on. I mean, it was just a great time for Notre Dame. I mean, it was just one of those things you can't replicate. Like, I'm sure Georgia feels that way and they reached their full potential. But man, we had all the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
We had everything you would want and needed to get over that hump. So I think that'll be hard to be better than. I mean, it's been holding on for the years it's been, with 8 years so far, but still, this team has a lot to be proved. We went before this game, we didn't know anything about the team.
Yeah.
So to even say that this is the most talented you've seen in years after one game, that's super cap. Because before the kickoff, you're like, man, I don't know what we're gonna find out.
That was the point.
Like, what?
Notre Dame fans went into the game not knowing what the heck we had. Now we come out of the game like, oh, this is the most talented team we've had. Like, come on.
What?
Like, pump the brakes, man. Allow the season, allow the search to go on.
Yeah, allow us to play a couple games, man.
That's
king
it.
of the world.
Allow the search to go on, man. That's it. And I'm glad that's why we're here, dude, to say, yo, relax. Relax. I'm looking at the chat and everybody's like, yeah, that's been 8 years ago. Brady Quinn was alive.
Yeah, he was here.
He knows very well what the team was in 2014-16. He knows. Brady Quinn could have been very tempered in what he said. Like, man, that was an impressive showing. And this roster is much faster and younger than it's been in recent years.
Yeah.
Bam. Everybody would have been like, yeah, this is the most talented and fastest. Because he said that he can remember. So that kind of eliminates the Lou Holtz era.
Yeah.
Because he might not have even been born. But he very well remembers 2014 to 2016.
Yeah, I think sometimes you want to go out there and take a limb to garner some more attention, but you gotta be.
And
You
look,
be sometimes factual.
It is. Patrick Galvin says this year's backfield is better.
It's yet to be seen. It's yet to be seen.
That's point number one.
I mean, that's the
point
biggest
number one.
point.
That's point number one.
It's yet to be seen.
Aldrich Estime is done. Bro, didn't Josh Adams have a full season where he was a Heisman contender?
Yes, and he was number 3 or 2 in the back. Like, come on.
Wait. Didn't CJ Prosise come from the slot to the running back to run for like 1,300 yards?
Yeah.
Wasn't Torian Folsom coming off 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons when he tore his ACL?
Come on, man. I mean,
wasn't Greg Bryant a 5-star that was showing flashes at the end of his freshman year? See, people's memories get real short. They get enamored with one game against Navy, and it's like, oh my God. Man, what are we talking about?
What are we talking about? I don't know. Hell, I would have put up some yards during them years. I mean, we had everything going for us.
Next, they're gonna say the offensive line is better than that offensive line.
Yeah, that I would never concede until I see. I mean, come on, you can't. Georgia may have had the best defense of all time, but that line, those couple years, come on, can't. I can't name one that's better. You got Zach Martin in there, and that's already a Hall of Fame.
You say you talked 2015, CJ Procyse had 1,300 yards in 2015. Josh Adams was a freshman in 2015. That was about to be a Heisman contender. Torian Folsom got hurt and was a 1,000-yard rusher.
Man, we had
Greg Bryant. Dude.
We'll see how it turns out, because at the end of the day, it all played out for us how it played out. But for them, they have an opportunity and everything in front of them.
I put it like this. I would take Greg Bryant over Jabron Payne. I would.
Oh, yeah. I would. And Devin Ford, too.
I would take Torian Folsom over Devin Ford. I would take CJ Procyse over Devin Ford. Like, what are we talking about? Do we forget the production of the running backs from that room?
I do think, though. I mean, hell, I got Audrey Denson. Love Audrey Denson.
Man, look, let me tell you something. I love this running back room.
I do.
But they only have one person that's done something.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's one person on the team that's done something. That's crazy. Especially offensively. Well, two people, Joe Wall and Sam Hartman. But other than that, everybody else got resumes to fill out. We don't know these guys.
First of all, Doma Wap, he said, as far as I can remember. If he wasn't born during the Lou Holtz era, then that's not in his memory. If I say, as far as I remember, I'm not due. I didn't watch Willie Mays play. That goes back beyond my memory. I could read about him. I could read about Lou Gehrig. But my memory of sports begins with when I was born to now. When people say that, that's what they mean. That's what they mean. It's a reason he said that. It's a reason he said that. There's a reason he said that. And if he does remember, this is the crazy thing. If he remembers the Lou Holtz era, then I call bigger cap. Because no coach has had more team speed than Lou Holtz. Marcus Freeman's squad this year ain't even close.
Ain't even close.
Lou Holtz had so much team speed that he forced guys to play defense. So you're making the argument worse, or Brady Quinn. Worse. If he was including the Lou Holtz era, then what he said is even more ridiculous. When a guy like Jeff Burris, who's a running back, top running back in the nation, comes to campus and is sixth on the depth chart and has to move the defense because of the team speed. Then Brady Quinn's comments are even more ridiculous. If that includes the Lou Holtz era. I'm trying to help him out.
Yeah.
But there's no way this team is the most talented and fastest team that he can remember after one game. Come on,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Stop.
But they say you don't got a lot to kick it. No, but he definitely answered it in a very succinct way. He didn't want to date back all the way to the Lou Holtz era, because he said as long as I can remember, and he kind of wanted to favor more to what we're all excited about. I think it is an exciting time for Notre Dame. I don't think they have team speed that is, as long as I can remember. But I do think that for us, Notre Dame has a lot to still prove, but it's on good standing. We have
Bro,
great standing where we are. We're on the verge of crossing to a championship tier. Now, I do think if we didn't lose the recruit to Dion to Colorado, if we didn't lose Keon Keeley, which I know got some speed on him. I mean, if we got Richard Young, then yeah, okay, we have a conversation, Brady. As long as you can remember, then I might agree. But we've lost some pieces that it might have been the team speed we've been looking for.
let me, because someone's making it personal today, and I'm not going to say their name.
Uh-oh.
Because I saw that earlier comment about me telling somebody to go to hell 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to tell you this because I've told everybody. I'm one of the most peaceful people you can talk sports with in the world.
That's right.
I'll take every perspective. When you try to put words in my mouth and when you make it personal, I'm going to tell you to go to hell. That person 2 weeks ago tried to make it personal with some slick comments, and I'll double down and tell them to go to hell today. Now, if you want to keep making it personal and act like you don't understand the words that come out of my mouth, then that's on you. I'm going to say it one more time. It's common sense. When people say, as far as I can remember, they're talking about the time that subject came to their conscience. I'm a very good listener. Very good listener. Listen to the whole entire interview. I know exactly what he was talking about. So all this little stuff, well, tell me my perspective now. Man, stop being a clown and a kid. Nobody's on here trying to tell somebody what they think. I listen to what people say. And I give an opinion on what he said. If you don't like my opinion, that's too bad. But I don't do that childish stuff. That trying to get personal attack stuff. Are you trying to tell me what I'm thinking now? Man, go somewhere with that. We have grown-up conversations on this show. All that semantic stuff, stop. We disagree with what Brady Quinn said. Period. Myself and Malik. That's it.
That's it.
Ain't got nothing to do with reading his mind. We disagree with what he said. And since my mind can go back to what I remember, because I grew up on the Lou Holtz era, I could give 2 eras that had more talent than what Brady Quinn said after one game in the Marcus Freeman era. That's it. But all this extra stuff, we don't do that. And I'm not about to allow you to turn me into someone other than who I am, which is a person that opens the chat to everyone to be able to speak their mind. I don't have a problem with people having a difference of opinion, but I do have a problem with people trying to have personal attacks. And I've told people about this show. You're not about to personally attack me or Left at any point in time and not get called out. It's not happening. All that other stuff, we don't have time for that. Nobody's personally attacking Brady Quinn. We disagree with what he said. He needs to pump the brakes. Brady Quinn is I'm a homer. If you think Brady Quinn is a homer, I'm a homer. Left is a homer. Left said we got stars at wide receivers yesterday. You can't be any more homer than that. You can't.
Oh, that's funny.
You can't. We were as happy as you guys are. We were just as happy after the Navy game.
That's right.
Man, couldn't control ourselves. Didn't know how to act with a quarterback. Didn't know how to act with not getting a delay of game penalty.
Man.
Didn't know how to act coming out of a timeout and not getting a penalty. Like, what is this? Oh, my God. We're just as amped as you are, Notre Dame fans. Just as amped.
This is him.
But when Brady Quinn said that, I had to say, oh, wait, Brady. Come on, wait. Somebody else that has to get it left. Your boy Joe Clapp.
Oh. This guy. What'd he say? What'd he say? What'd he say?
I thought I had the audio. Let me check one more time.
Joe Clatt always been saying some interesting
crazy stuff.
Yeah. He's an interesting character. But yeah, Brady, had to get you clipped. You don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah, you're excited, but if we had Dylan Edwards, who's running a legit 4.29 or something, and we got Brandon Hillman, who's supposed to be running a 4.3, we had Keon Keeley, and we got Richard Young. You know, that's yeah, man, that's speed.
Can I paraphrase what Joe Clatt said? It was like a 2-minute clip. I thought I cut it. He basically said before he saw the Navy game, he didn't think Notre Dame had a shot in any of the Big Three games.
Oh my gosh, a shot? How?
He said, wait. He said Notre Dame didn't have a shot against Clemson, USC, or Ohio State.
A shot?
He said after watching Sam Hartman, he now believes that the USC game is an issue for USC, and he thinks that Clemson is a possibility.
For what?
For a win.
USC, he's right about. It's gonna be a game. It's gonna be a tough game. Clemson, I don't understand how we got better against when we considered a transition year against Clemson. We got better, and we smoked you guys last year. So I don't know where this whole confidence in Clemson is coming from. Cade Klubnik, who has to prove himself. I mean, I don't know where. I mean, he didn't prove himself much last year as comparable from an apple falling from the tree like Trevor and Deshaun. So what are we referring to as he got that much better in a year, in an off season? Sam Hartman got numbers in the ACC. So ain't no way you could say we don't have it's gonna be a game like that. You're taking a guy who's played in the ACC his whole career and put him on a better team, and he looks to seem to be getting better with that team. And you're saying we don't have a shot at first, and now we're making it a game? No way. We might even beat Clemson worse. Who knows? Cade Klubnik has to prove what he even is at Clemson. So we got a proven guy, a guy who knows himself, a guy who's been there, done that. Maybe not on the biggest stage, but I guess you can say that Clemson's not even a part of the Big Two or Big Three anymore because Sam knows the conference.
Didn't Sam throw like six? Didn't he throw 6 touchdowns against Clemson last year?
Yeah, so it's like it's really 2 big games. It's really Ohio State and it's USC.
Absolutely.
Because Sam Clemson and Sam. I've
Absolutely.
been talking about that too much. Now I'm thinking about it. Sam's comfortable against Clemson. Let's just keep it a band. Sam probably thinking I'm about to really get on Clemson now because I got a better team. Y'all really finna be in trouble.
Absolutely.
Y'all really finna be in trouble now. I got 6 touchdowns with a sorry O-line and some guys I made look better. Now I got a run game. Oh yeah, Clemson, you in trouble. But SC and Ohio State, I would say, are the 2 big games, which I think, are Ohio State. I'm really feeling really good about because Ohio State don't even know who their quarterback is, and when you in a situation like that, Ryan Day gonna have to prove his worth too. You can't just tell CJ to just roll out there now. You can't tell Justin Fields roll out there. You've been blessed. Now you got to coach dudes up, and you like, man, none of them are CJ. So we're gonna play one of them, both of them. Who knows? So I really feel good about Ohio State because we know we fired our guy. We said, look, we're in a layoff phase, and you're getting laid off with your counterpart. Y'all can find other schools. Congratulations to you, but we're hiring new.
Yeah.
We're not even going into the season with no Ryan Day problem. So Ohio State got their own issues, which is great for us, bad for them. SC is the team that looks to be rolling, and we should be rolling by the time we play them, and that's the Goliath matchup. So it's really the SC game for me.
Yeah. And that's the last thing I'm gonna say on the subject today. Personal, man, let go of Brady Quinn's nuts. He does not need protection. His words don't need protection. And I can give my opinion on anything he says.
That's right.
Especially if I disagree with it. And if I disagree with what he says, that's not judging him. That's called having an opinion, especially if it's an educated opinion. And I happen to have an educated opinion on Notre Dame football and the rosters going back to the 70s. Period. By the way, rest in heaven and condolences to longtime radio voice, the radio voice of my childhood for Notre Dame football, Tony Roberts, who passed away yesterday. He ushered in my fandom. He ushered in the fandom of a lot of Notre Dame fans. He was the reason, whether you heard the replay on Sunday mornings or you heard it live on Saturdays, he was the soundtrack to our fandom as Notre Dame fans. So our thoughts, our prayers, and our heartfelt condolences to Tony Roberts' family. Rest in peace. And you will forever be etched in the hearts, minds, and memory of Notre Dame fans all over this world for what you gave to Notre Dame football. So, a little moment of silence for Tony Roberts. But yeah, that's it, bro. I just felt like the search goes on. We're trying to find the roster that's going to win the next championship. And that search is still building. If you ask me today if Sam Hartman is going to be the quarterback that wins the next championship, the answer I will give you is no. That'll be the answer I will give you today. If you ask me today if Sam Hartman is going to be the next quarterback to win a championship at Notre Dame, my answer would be no.
Yeah, I would say no too.
If you give me Sam Hartman, or you give me, if I had to choose between Sam Hartman or Kenny Minchie and CJ Carr, I'm taking Kenny Minchie and CJ Carr over Sam Hartman.
That's right. More talent. They just got more talent.
Because the search is still on, in my opinion, for the roster that's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Because this is a rental. He's a 1-year rental. Like, what are we talking about?
Now, he gives Notre Dame a great chance to be in the Final Four.
Yes. Great chance. This year, great chance. Because we got quarterbacks. We got quarterbacks that are more competent than the top teams this year's quarterbacks. I like Sam Hartman over Carson Beck at Georgia. I like Sam Hartman over Kyle McCord and Devin Brown at Ohio State. I like Sam Hartman over the entire quarterback room at Alabama. I like Sam Hartman over the quarterback over there at Clemson. These are the top teams every year. So if we had to run into one of those teams, dang it, I think we got a good chance. If we got to run into a Michigan, I like it. If we got to run into a TCU, I like it. If running into USC, I don't love it, but I like it. We got a chance. So it's not like, LSU, I'll be like, okay, we got to fight. We don't have to fight.
What do you mean by that? We got to fight with LSU.
I said, we'll have a fight if it's LSU because I like their quarterback at LSU.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's going to be an interesting game on Sunday.
That'll be an interesting game.
Interesting game on Sunday night because I like both quarterbacks, and I think both teams are going to have good seasons.
Florida State would be a good game for us.
I'm looking forward to your boy going up against Drake May on Saturday night as well.
Who, Spencer Riley?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Spencer needs that for his draft stock, so that'll be a great game. So the year of the Pac-12, I tell you that this will probably be the best year for the Pac-12 in a long time because all the quarterbacks were really good.
Yeah.
DJ Uiagalelei, you got Shador, you got Caleb, you got Bo Nix, you got Penix, you got Dante Moore or Gathers or whoever's over there.
They say Gathers is going to start, but Dante Moore is going to play.
Yeah, you got Cam Rising over at Utah. You got
they play Thursday, right? They start the season off against Florida Thursday.
So it's heavyweights in the Pac-12. So
Thursday or Friday. I think it might be Friday.
I think Colorado's playing on TCU on Thursday.
Yeah, Colorado plays TCU.
That'll be a good game. True. So year of the quarterbacks for the Pac-12. I like our chances though.
And it's not about, it goes back to the point we made. It's not just about the quarterback of Sam Hartman. This roster is going to continue to become more talented.
Oh, yeah.
That's the point we're making. So, Sam, if Tyler Buckner was the quarterback, nobody's talking college football playoff.
Nobody. We're talking transition again.
Nobody's talking it. Sam Hartman comes. Now we're talking playoff. Maybe having a shot at winning a game. That's the real conversation that people are having.
That's right.
Now the roster gets more. It's going to be more talented when CJ Carr gets here.
Yes.
More talented when Kenny Minchie elevates. They're going to have better shots to win championships. Why? Jaden Greathouse is going to be a better player in his second year than he is his first year.
That's right.
Tobias is going to be a better player next year. Rico Flores is going to be a better player. Aldrich Estime might be gone, but you're still going to have. Now you got Aeneas Williams coming from St. Louis. You got Keidron Young coming from Texas. The running back room is still going to be 5-6 deep. Christian Gray and Michael Bell are going to be back with Benjamin Morrison next year.
That's right.
The linebackers that are young are going to be back and better. Drake Bourne's going to be better. Jaden Osbury is going to be better. Jason Onyé is going to be better. Gabriel Rubio is going to be better. All the talent that's part of the depth is going to be better. And you're going to have more depth. And the roster is going to be better. That's it. That's the point. That's today's show was just a way to say, yo, Notre Dame is trending and searching for that roster that's finally going to get it done. And this year is another piece to the puzzle. Sam Hartman is another piece to the puzzle. You're darn right, Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman is very important. Why?
Yeah,
Because Deuce Knight is watching.
that's right.
Deuce Knight is watching the Notre Dame offense
Closely.
He's watching the young receivers. He's watching. So my point, look, this is looking into the future. This year's team won't be anywhere close to how talented next year's team is going to be.
That's right. Next year's team will be crazy.
Next year's team is going to be more talented than this year's team. In my honest opinion. And that's what we have. That's what we have. That's why it's a special time to be a Notre Dame fan. Go ahead, be a homer. You should. This is the right time to be a homer. Continue to badger Ohio State fans on social media. Shoot. That's my honest opinion. I mean, if we're going to do hot takes about talent and speed, let me do a hot take. The roster next year is going to be faster and more talented.
Yeah. Easily.
Why? Amel Mookum, Devin Houston, all the kids that are not playing left, they're going to be better. And they're going to add to the talent. And the young players that are playing this year, they're going to get better, which means the roster is going to be more talented. It's a natural progression.
I'm ready for it.
That's my hot take about the talent and speed. So yeah, Joe Clapp, come on, man. You know what time it is, love.
Petticoat, petticoat, petticoat junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petticoat Junction.
Petty Junction brought to you by Onora Whiskey and NoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey and NoraWhiskey.com. So I got on Noah Lyles yesterday for his comments about the NBA and all that stuff left. Oh, here comes Sha'Carri Richardson. I guess she calls herself sticking up for Noah Lyles. Just put on the petty train, bro.
What I didn't like about the Noah Lyles thing was just the fact that it just seemed like, why mention the NBA? You know, he probably got picked last growing up.
It's called insecurity, bro.
Yeah, and now he was like, I'll just run faster than everybody, and nobody cared through high school because basketball was where it's at. While he traveling to Jamaica and London, and nobody care about that back home because he ain't
No,
on the basketball team.
no one
And
pays attention to who's a world champion in track and field, bro.
no, and
We
he
only
knows
we
that.
only we only pay attention next year in Paris. The world will take notice because it's the Olympics. That's
That's
it.
right. You get your 4 years every 4 years. Other than that, come on, man. Don't be mad about it and try to bring up what you know is true. Because that's why you're getting the response you're getting. You just happen to win. You got your 15 seconds and you used it to try to compare something that you know is not comparable. So that big old caps you had, Shaun, you got to throw the biggest one out for Noah Lyles because he knows better. He knows better. Come on, Noah. You know. Come on, dog. It's about recognition. He knows there's no recognition at the crib for that. That's like you put on the refrigerator magnet. It means a lot, but to certain people. You're not gonna get the credit LeBron getting. You're just not. LeBron's a world champion. And so are you. But LeBron's always gonna have that fame over you, dog. It's just what it is. Shakira Richardson, you done got a lot of,
First of all,
you've been eating good off of the fame.
hey,
Why are you still trying
she
to
just
charge?
got back. She just got back in the good graces.
Yeah, don't,
You know
you've
what I'm
been
saying?
don't do that.
You,
Don't do that.
hey, Godspeed, prayers to your continued recovery
Of course.
from everything that you went through and overcame.
But
That's,
come on, yo.
but stop, man. Stop.
Stop, man. Stop.
Stop.
Why are you doing all of that?
I was about to say something disrespectful, man, but Shakira Richardson. See, I would say something disrespectful like this. You claim you're a world champion, but the only people you really race against are from Jamaica.
There you go.
So how much of a world champion are you really? Your real competition is only one country.
That's right.
So what you talking about? LeBron, KD, they face more competition. I said it yesterday, Left. The world champion Denver Nuggets, best two players are from other countries.
Other countries. And hell, the top 5 are from different countries. Giannis, Luka, Jokic. When LeBron gone, Steph gone, KD gone, he might be international, maybe the top 10 best players.
Man, bro.
So that's more world than anything, she doing.
Hey.
It's about neighborhood recognition being more important than the recognition that she's getting from actually winning. She cared more about what her neighborhood is saying than what the world is putting her on the stage and him putting them on the stage for recognition. Being on the world stage clearly isn't good enough for them. That they got to talk about being the neighborhood famous is what they really want, and they can't get it. So that's why they hate. If anything, enjoy your little world. If you're a world champion, why are you even talking about it?
Hey, have some class. Have some class like a Edward Moses. Have some class like a Carl Lewis. Set records. Dominate for years. Get your Wheaties box. and then be happy, man. Be happy. Everybody in the Chicagoland area, man, be safe. It's real up here. This ring of car thefts and this ring of robberies, late night on the streets, it's getting outrageous. Be safe if you're in the Chicago area, man. Don't walk alone. Be vigilant. Keep your head on the swivel. Because they
They
move
got a
from the
bad
north.
problem right now.
They move from the north side. They hit Bronzeville this weekend. And I venture to say they'll probably be moving to Hyde Park a little bit sooner. So
You said it like it's a hurricane, like it's just moving through the city.
dude, this has been happening for like 2 months.
Now what is what's happening? I guess.
They just pull up on people walking in the neighborhoods with Uzis, with AR-15s.
They doing what?
Yeah, it's real armed robberies, bro.
Wow. They're just driving around.
And they're doing it like 4 in the same neighborhood. Like they hit you like 4 times in like 10, 15 minutes.
Coordinated efforts.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is they've been doing neighborhoods. They hit your boy, they hit your teammate neighborhood first. It was up by him.
Oh, Ojo.
Yeah. That was one of the first neighborhoods they hit.
Really? So it would be like at night you walking on the street and somebody just pull over and rob you right there.
They pull up, 3 people jump out, AR-15s with masks on. They ask you for your phone, your jewelry, your wallet.
Yeah.
They jump back in the car.
And they think this is a sting operation or what?
I don't, bro. I don't know. Yeah. I feel bad, love, because it's ignorant. It's ignorant. I mean, are you gonna tell people not to come out at night? The north side of Chicago is very similar to New York, man. In certain neighborhoods, a lot of bars, a lot of things to do late night. So, I mean, what do you tell people to do? Other than be safe and be vigilant. You know, at some point, they're going to roll up on the wrong people. And it's going to end up being a shootout.
That's going to cause the city to go crazy.
And that, you know, as a matter of fact, a young man, they rolled up on a young man in a gas station this weekend, 20 years old. He saw them, tried to jump back in his car and get away. They shot him in his head.
Oh my God.
You know,
because he tried like gang stuff, or he tried to just pedestrian.
Man, look. I mean, we sit here and talk football and have fun every day, bro. At the end of the day, this is the stuff I go to sleep with, bro. That's heavy on my heart.
Yeah.
Because, can I be honest with you? This is why I'm disappointed. I think the people that are involved with these robberies are young people. Yeah. That's my honest opinion. That's why I'm sad.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's why I'm sad. It's young people, man. Young people that are probably being influenced. So yeah, that's heavy on my heart every night, love.
Yeah.
Every night. That some young kids are being influenced to commit these armed robberies and these carjackings. And they think it's sweet. So all I'm gonna do is keep plugging away for what I do every day.
That's right.
That's all I can do. And pray. And try to give PSAs like I gave today for people in the Chicago area to be safe. That's it, man. We'll have a Tennessee State guest tomorrow. We'll dive into Eddie George. And he has some talented players. Don't sleep now.
Oh, never. You know,
He
they
got some talented players.
can't sleep since Marshall last year.
No. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Have a great day. Most of all, make sure you spend it different.